For real.
In the world of boxing, few names hold as much weight as Floyd Mayweather Jr., the legendary boxer known for his impeccable record and business savvy, has seen his fair share of triumphs. However, his latest drama has little to do with his skills in the ring and more with the young fighter he once mentored, Gervonta Tank Davis. What started as a close relationship between mentor and prodigy has quickly devolved into a bitter rivalry, filled with personal grudges and public confrontations. The story begins with a split that few could have anticipated. Tank Davis, once considered Mayweather's prodigy and the future of boxing, found himself in a situation where his loyalty was questioned. The fallout began when Calvin Ford, the coach who helped shape Tank's career from a troubled teenager in Baltimore to a knockout artist, made a controversial move. Ford, who had been with Tank since he was a young boy, switched allegiances and joined Mayweather Promotions, creating a divide between him and Tank. Tank's bond with Ford went beyond that of a typical trainer-fighter relationship. Ford was a father figure to Tank, someone who had always had his back, guiding him through the rough streets of Baltimore. Tank had lived in Ford's house, trained tirelessly, and relied on him when times were tough. Ford's move to Mayweather Promotions was seen as a betrayal by Tank. To Tank, it was as though the one person who had been there for him was now siding with his biggest rival. Ford's decision to join Mayweather's camp seemed to make sense from a professional standpoint. Mayweather Promotions, with its vast resources and connections, offered a platform that Ford could not ignore. But for Tank, this move felt like a stab in the back. He had always known Floyd as a businessman, someone who controlled every aspect of his fighters' careers, but to Tank, this was personal. Ford had been a father figure, and to see him join forces with Floyd felt like a betrayal of their years of loyalty and trust. Tank's frustration reached a boiling point when, at a charity event in Las Vegas, he confronted Floyd in front of cameras. What was supposed to be a peaceful gathering quickly turned into a public spectacle. Tank, already feeling the tension, approached Floyd and accused him of taking away the one person who had always supported him. "You took the one person who had my back. You can't stand to see me win without you," Tank reportedly shouted at Floyd. Floyd, never one to back down from a challenge, responded by reminding Tank of the opportunities he had given him. "I made you," Floyd retorted, implying that without him, Tank would not have the platform or the fame he had today. The exchange quickly escalated into an all-out brawl, with both sides exchanging heated words and shoves. Tank accused Floyd of jealousy, while Floyd claimed Tank was ungrateful for everything he had done for him. The altercation didn't stop at words. As the argument grew more intense, Tank allegedly pushed Floyd, and security had to step in to separate the two. Chaos ensued, with members from both sides jumping into the fray. Tank was reportedly swinging at members of Floyd's team, while Floyd himself had to be restrained. In the midst of the brawl, Calvin Ford, who was present at the event, tried to calm the situation, but ended up becoming a target of Tank's anger. "You're a sellout," Tank allegedly yelled at his former coach. The public confrontation left everyone stunned. What had once been a promising partnership between Floyd and Tank had now turned into a war of words, personal insults, and physical confrontation. In the aftermath, Tank took to social media to address the issue, speaking directly to his fans. He made it clear that his feud with Floyd was more than just about business, it was about control and power. "Floyd's always been about power. He can't stand that I'm doing my own thing," Tank said during an Instagram live session. He also expressed his frustration that the drama was overshadowing his upcoming fight with Lamont Roach, a significant match in his career. Tank's accusations against Floyd weren't just about business tactics. He claimed that Floyd's behavior had been controlling, dismissive of his growth, and sometimes even manipulative. Over the years, Tank had expressed his dissatisfaction with the way Floyd handled his career, and this latest incident seemed to confirm his suspicions. Tank felt as though Floyd could not handle seeing him succeed on his own terms. He felt that Floyd's jealousy was standing in the way of his own growth and independence as a fighter. Despite the tension between them, Tank was still facing a major challenge in the ring. His upcoming fight with Lamont Roach was pivotal, not just because of the stakes in the boxing world, but because Tank had a point to prove. He needed to show the world and himself that he could succeed without Floyd's influence, and that he was still the king of knockouts in his division. The fight was expected to be a tough one, as Roach, while not known for his knockout power, was a skilled counterpuncher with excellent footwork. Tank's knockout power had earned him a reputation as one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. His record spoke for itself, with a long list of opponents left crumpled on the canvas after facing him. But the challenge now was not just about knocking out Roach, it was about proving that he could rise above the drama surrounding his personal life and focus on his career. The pressure was on, but Tank had always thrived under pressure. However, things had changed in Tank's corner as well. With Calvin Ford no longer in his camp, Tank had enlisted a new coach, Derek James, a former Golden Gloves champion from Indianapolis. James was known for his technical knowledge and had worked with some of the best in the sport. He had trained Frank Martin, Tank's latest opponent, and was now tasked with preparing Tank for the biggest fight of his life. Derek James was brought in not just to train Tank, but to help him navigate the pressure and distractions that came with being one of the most talked about fighters in the sport. Despite the changes in his camp, Tank's skills were still undeniable. He remained the knockout king of his division, with fans and experts alike recognizing his potential to be one of the best in the world. But with all the drama surrounding him, his feud with Floyd, the tension with Calvin Ford, and the chaos in his personal life, Tank had a lot to prove. His fight with Lamont Roach was more than just a battle in the ring. It was a statement that he was still the fighter everyone feared. As for Calvin Ford, his decision to join Mayweather Promotions was a complicated one. On one hand, it opened doors for him professionally, offering him more visibility and opportunities than he had ever dreamed of. But on the other hand, it cost him his relationship with Tank. Ford's decision to align himself with Floyd was seen by some as a betrayal, while others saw it as a career move that made sense. Ford, who had always been Tank's biggest supporter, had to make a choice between his loyalty to Tank and his own career advancement. It was a difficult decision, and one that would have long-lasting consequences. The feud between Floyd Mayweather and Tank Davis was more than just a professional disagreement. It was a clash of personalities, ideals, and ambitions. Floyd represented the old guard of boxing business, focused, controlling, and protective of his empire. Tank, on the other hand, was part of a new breed of fighters who valued independence, authenticity, and the freedom to make their own choices. This clash of values was evident in their public confrontations, and it would continue to shape the course of their careers. For now, the boxing world is left waiting to see what happens next. Tank's fight with Lamont Roach is just the beginning of a new chapter in his career. With Derek James in his corner and his rivalry with Floyd Mayweather continuing to make headlines, Tank's future is as uncertain as it is exciting. One thing is clear, this is a story that will continue to unfold, with each twist and turn bringing new drama and surprises.